Good morning, all of you. Okay, my screen is visible to all of you. Okay, thank you. So last class we discussed about about why security is required, what are the desirable properties of security, and what are the different type of securities are there. Mainly we have two type of securities are there: symmetric key encryption and asymmetric encryption. These two are going to be used to fulfill the first property, that is called confidentiality. The next one, the property is very much important property, is going to be integrity. That is going to be achieved with help of hashing. In the hashing, we have two major concepts we need to be discussed. One is the message authentication code and digital signature. Ultimately, I want to discuss today how we are going to protect our information. So you might be seeing this diagram. In this diagram, information is going to be located in the center. Confidentiality, integrity, and availability. These three are going to be protect this particular information. And to propagate this information, or to share this information, we supposed to be use some hardware and some software products, and as well as we need some communication elements. Then only we are able to that means share this particular information to all others. Right. So I will give a small example over here to you to understand. Suppose we may observe RBI, Reserve Bank of India server is there. So what information is there inside the RBI? All your banking related information is available with the RBI. So if suppose whenever you made any transaction, so that information has to be forwarded to the RBI server only. And RBI server, why? Because just you see, we have SBI card and we have, but we don't have any SBI ATM nearby, but we have ICICI ATM. So that you were able to withdraw money from that particular ATM. How is it is possible? That means RBI is maintaining the complete information. So how protecting RBI server? Keep it in the mind. So there also you have the database contains some information. That information is protected. How they are going to protect it? So ATM generally they will use a DES concept to provide security. We discussed there are symmetric algorithms are there. One is DES, AES, such a kind of algorithms are there. The same way, triple DES, one algorithm is there. All ATM transactions are going to be made to using this particular triple DES algorithm. So that is a symmetric algorithm. That's why generally how many digit pin number we is supposed to be used? 4-digit pin number only. So what I mean to say to you here, information is situated in a particular building. There is a servers are there, and the server they are going to store. That servers are there inside the big building. Inside big building, they are going to be maintaining one strong room inside the strong room. That's why here the information is located in the center. We are protecting with help of our security principles, and that is going to be accessed through this communication protocols. And apart from that, you have some other securities are there as well. Finally, physical security is also there. So this diagram is providing that information to us. Finally, what type of securities we have? So I can say very clearly, we will supposed to differentiate the securities broadly. There are three types of securities out there. One is the data security, computer security, and network security. We'll speak about the data security. Right now, all of us, we are transmitting data. So what kind of data? Data in the form, in any form. So generally, what kind of form we are using? Text, audio, or video. These are the three available right now. Just we are using in that form. How will we ensure the data security? So what is it means? It ensures the data is kept from corruption and that access to it is suitably controlled. And very interesting one is going to be the computer security. How many type of computers right now we have? Your mobile is a computer or not? Just you think, how many type of computers right now we are using? Every electronic devices, that means it is going to perform some computations. You can treat that as a computer. In that case, all these are vulnerable. How these are vulnerable? Hardware point, software point of view, these are vulnerable. Simple point I can say to you, you have to develop two things. One is your operating system related software, and other one is going to be your application related softwares. And other one is also there interface going to be created between the application software and to this operating system. That means the various levels you have, all these various levels are vulnerable. I would like to give a small example to you. One is mobile OS, your Android, iOS, and other one is going to be your laptop OS. Any difference is there between these two? Just we need to be choose, Android very familiar to all of us, and Linux operating system is very familiar to all of us. You check the difference between these two only. You may observe the Linux operating system has the 3 layers: application layer, then after your library related software is there, at the end kernel is there. The same way you may observe the mobile applications, that means mobile OS, 4 layers are there: application 1 layer, application 2 layer, then after your library files and your Dalvik virtual machine, then finally at the end kernel is there. At all these level, security issues are there. At all these level, security issues are there. So am I audible to all of them? Anyone can answer for me? Right. So here, this is called computer security. That means I'm talking about the operating system level security aspects, and that means different operating systems are there, so that whenever the change is there, automatically security aspects also going to be changed. Second thing, how you design these operating systems, and how you are providing a client server communication through some protocols. So that protocols and whatever the software is used to develop that protocols, that are also not secure. That are also not secure. Simply, I can say, most of the web servers are designed based on the C or C++ programming languages. Till today also, most of the web servers are designed based on these two programming languages only. Why? Because the efficiency. Because of efficiency only they are developing. That means web servers based on these programming languages. And these programming languages are more vulnerable compared to the other programming languages like Java or Scala or other programming languages. So you have to keep understand why where the problem is. Simple pointers are there. Pointer handling is a very typical task while you are writing a C program. In our class, discuss that particular information, right? And the mostly we are talking about with respect to computer security, the malwares. Many variety of malwares are available. So what is a malware? It's a malicious software. We know that. Which includes computer viruses, worms, Trojan horses, most rootkits are there, spywares are there, dishonest adwares are there. Likewise, ample. I will give a small example to you to understand about this. How these are very prominent to us. In year 2000, Google lost their root password. Somebody hacked Google server, so that they lost their control on their servers. That means they created a small rootkit and they find out their root password of their web server. So how these kind of activities are going to be happened? We'll study in this particular course. And very interesting point here, network security, which includes web security also. And 50+% of attacks are related to network and web security. Why? Because this is very, that means publicly available, all these protocols, and everybody knows the working procedure of these protocols. So that's why the most of the attacks are related to the network or web related. That's why broadly we may classify where we have 3 type of security are there. One is data security, other one is computer security, and the final one is going to be network security. So what type of attacks are possible? we're talking about the kind of securities are there and some attacks are possible. We discussed. Okay, but what type of attacks are there? Security attacks are classified into 4 types. There are 2 type of classifications are there. One is a Kent classification. Other one is going to be the normal way they are classified these attacks. The first one is going to be the interception. These interception attacks are mainly targeted to break the confidentiality of the protocols. And second one is going to be interruption. How to break the availability. Break the availability means we will see some of the slides are there. I will give a more detailed explanation on this. And modification, which is going to be attack on integrity, and fabrication. The mainly the scientific way classification is going to be the Kent's classification. So according to the Kent's classification, we have 2 type of attacks: passive attacks and active attacks. So passive attacks comes under interception attacks, and active attacks are going to be interruption, modification, fabrication. These 3 are going to comes under active attacks. So what is a passive attack and what is an active attack? We observe something is not known to us, that is going to be passive attack. Means some attack is happened, but that is not going to be possible to identify the attack was is happened or it is going to be happened like that. I will give a small example to release of message content. I will give a small example. What is how we can define this passive attack? Suppose Indian border, you might be find one side Indian army is there, and other side who will be there? Most of us we know Pakistani terrorists are there. Suppose Indian army using some wireless communication. Wireless communication means generally we will use omnidirectional antennas. In omnidirectional antenna, the propagation is going to be around all the directions. So sometimes what happens, the signal is going to be reached to the other end also, or they may use wireless communication. Their signals also going to be reached to the our end. So any confidential information from one cantonment zone to other cantonment zone, the army people are moving. So they want to convey, we are moving and we are coming in this particular direction or on this road. So if suppose other side Pakistani terrorists are there, they might receive that particular information. They are going to be conveyed to the Indian army, or they are going to be conveyed to any other agencies. Definitely not. They will keep secret and they try to find the way where the more vulnerable place is there to attack. So this is the major problem. That means they are not going to be release the content of that message, and they are going to be read and they understood what is going to be happening. Okay, are you understanding? So that is called a passive attack. Here also, I know your password. I may not share with you. If I am not sharing with you means that comes under your passive attacks only. That comes under passive attack only. Right. Example I will tell you. Suppose a traffic pattern analysis. Somebody is communicating with some 2 parties are communicating. I want to know whether they are communicating or not. Their communication active state or not. So that is very easy to that means no, you have Wireshark. You already performed some programs on that, so that you're able to analyze the traffic analysis. That means where the connection is going on, where the so 1 minute, just I will come back. Okay, I'm sorry for the. So here you try to understand. Okay, two type of attacks are there. Current classification. And classification. Okay, one is okay masquerade, replay attack, and modification of the content, denial of service. These four are comes under active attacks. Am I audible to all of you? Hello.
Yes, sir.
So what I will do, I have some okay network disruptions are there. Shall I continue this class okay on Monday? If you don't have any problem.
Yes, sir, sure.
Okay, okay. I'm sorry for the because of the network problem.